Hello my friends and welcome back to my channel. Today I am getting ready with you guys using extremely expensive, luxurious makeup. So if you're not into that, maybe just click out because pretty much everything that I'm going to use today it's going to be very expensive. I got some things in PR. I purchased some things that are so expensive that I just wanted to do kind of a full face of these luxury beauty. So if you're interested, continue watching. And of course, if you're new here, welcome. Don't forget to subscribe down below. Follow me on Instagram for more real content, and let's get started. So starting off with a primer, I just have to use my Tom Ford Traceless Soft Matte Primer. This is pretty much my favorite primer, and it is probably the most expensive primer I have in my collection, and I have a feeling that it's on its last leg. Like there's barely anything in there, just freaking me out a little bit because this is $90, and you know, you purchasing it first time, okay, it's exciting. You're testing the product, you're doing a video about it. The second time, it's like, oh, it's just good and I need it. And it's not that exciting, but anyway, yes, that's my favorite primer. For foundation, I actually have a new one. I've used it, I think, in a couple of videos before, but this is the Chanel Sublimage Le Tint Foundation. I recorded this video before, maybe like 3 weeks ago, a month ago, and half of the footage was missing. So that's when I first tested this out. This is, I told you, right? The Chanel Sublimage Le Tint. And I just wanted to kind of test it out on camera and give you just a little bit more thoughts on this product. This is in the color B31. And, you know, the outside packaging, as pretty as it looks in this pretty glass, it's just kind of a pain. But the texture is that like super creamy, not moussey necessarily, it's just thicker. So I could see how being in a pump, it would just not work. But anyway, I kind of got used to this packaging, and it doesn't bother me that much. I just take it off of the cap. This foundation also comes with a brush like this, and I actually really like the brush. I think it's one of the better brushes. So, you know, you're paying a lot of money for this, but at least you got the foundation brush. So I'm going to add a little bit here. This is the from the Sublimage line from Chanel, and which is focused a lot on skincare, so you're definitely getting some skincare benefits in here. And the foundation, it's very light and creamy, blends in, look at that, absolutely like a dream. But the coverage is more on the lighter side. I would say it's light to medium. Like I can build this up to have a light medium coverage, not a full medium, but I think it's a beautiful foundation. I've used it quite a bit, and on my skin that's more on the drier side, it just works so well. Correct that, it's not a dry skin, it's normal to dry. It is so beautiful. It is skin-like, you don't see it on, and the coverage is perfect for me. Also, the finish, it's just like skin, but perfected. And again, you get this brush that actually works so well. I'm just adding a little bit more kind of everywhere. Yeah, this brush is a great brush. I could just use this all the time for the foundation part, and it would be great. A lot of people want to know how this foundation compares to the Chantecaille, which is another amazing foundation. So this one is more of a gel formula, even though they look very similar. The Chantecaille is that gel formula, and it feels cooling on the skin. This is a true cream that's like, you can see it's thicker, it's not liquidy. And this is just more glowier as a finish than the Chantecaille. So I would say that if you're more towards dry skin, I think that you would love the Chanel one. It's glowier, it's more luminous. It does last really well on the skin, has more skincare ingredients. And then the Chantecaille, the finish is more natural, which I do love that about the Chantecaille, because I don't know, it just becomes maybe even more like skin because it doesn't get as glowy as the Chanel. I think this remains that natural finish throughout the day. They both wear, I would say, kind of similar for me. I haven't noticed a big difference, but they're both just fabulous products. Chantecaille, I think it's, I'm gonna look it up. I'm not sure how much this is. I want to say 80 something dollars, 89. Yes, it's $89. And then the Chanel Sublimage is $135. So obviously quite a bit more expensive. And you get the same amount of product, 30 grams in each of these. Okay, moving on. I'm losing my voice. I'm in a funk today. I don't feel bad or I don't feel amazing. I just feel like blah. So I thought, why not put extremely expensive makeup on? Okay, the Chanel Sublimage Concealer. Now this one, anybody could wear this. It has become an absolute favorite. I just use a little bit from my finger and that's all I need. It is just such a skin-like, a little bit luminous, but it's not too much. And it just, it looks so good under the eyes. I struggle with concealers. They make my under eye look just crepey and heavy, and I really don't like that look. I'd rather not even wear concealer. And this is amazing. Also, it has good coverage. Definitely one of the better concealers I've tried. Again, extremely expensive, but you do get a lot of product. I kind of did a full day wear test on this one, but like, look how good it looks. Just my under eyes look healthy. I think anybody, even if you have oilier skin, I could see how you could use this concealer and it would look so good on you. It's just so good. I would say that it took over my Coffee concealer, my YSL. It's just probably my favorite concealer that I have right now. Still, the other ones are absolutely amazing. But if I were to pick one right now, it would be this one. And I'm glad because this is so expensive. This concealer looks so natural. It covers well. I don't feel like I ever see dryness under my eyes with this. Also, I don't have to set it. I do set it when I feel like it, but I've worn it so many times where I didn't set it and it worked so well. So this, I mean, I love both of these. They're wonderful, but if I had to only choose one, I would choose the concealer over the foundation because it has a bigger impact overall in what I need. And what I need is like a good hydrating concealer that covers and doesn't look heavy. With a foundation, even though I love it, I think I wouldn't say dupe this foundation, but I can get similar effect with foundations that are half the price or, you know, a fourth of the price of this one. Very glad I have both. I've been kind of on a Chanel kick lately. Hence this new powder that I'm going to talk about. But that the Sublimage line just is slowly pulling me in. They also gave me like a lot of samples of their skincare. That is just so expensive though. I don't think I'm getting into that. I'm not there yet. But moving on to the powder. This is the Natural Finishing Loose Powder from Chanel. This I think is in the number 30. I heard so many good things about this one. I've never tried it. Well, I have tried it since I purchased it before, and I wanted to try it. Also, this is a big bad boy. You get so much product in here. 30 grams of product. And let me look at my other powders. My says is 9.5 grams, and you know, this looks like it gives you a lot of product. Let's see the By Terry. The By Terry gives you 10 grams of product. Let's see House Labs. This gives you 7 grams of product. So again, this gives you 30 grams. That is so much product. I want to say this was around the $50 mark, but for how much product you get and how amazing this powder is, absolutely worth it. I feel like the price is decent. I love very natural looking powders. I don't like powders that are seen. But this one is interesting because it's a little heavier than my normal ones, but extremely blurring. You do not see it on the skin. It is just a little bit more effective than, for example, my Makeup Forever HD, which is, again, my favorite powder that I go to, the Kosas. Those are more barely there powder. This does have a stronger effect on the skin, but it is so blurring. You do not see it on. It's not drying at all. I feel like it just blurred my skin a little bit, and that's about it. It really is beautiful. With the color range, I could literally go from 10, 20, 30, maybe 40 if I'm really pushing it. Like the pigment is not super intense, but I do like 30 because it's not super brightening, but it's not making me look darker or anything like that. So I think that was a good choice. I was kind of debating to get the 20, be a little lighter, but I don't love bright under eyes, so that was actually perfect for me. So this, look at me, like getting into Chanel more and more. That's probably not a good thing because it's so pricey. For contour, I'm taking my Westman Atelier contour sticks. I have Biscuit and Truffle, and I'm gonna use them both. Without a doubt, my favorite contour that I have. Is this the most expensive? Maybe. I do have the Tom Ford Shade and Illuminate. Those are pretty up there, but it does have a highlighter as well. But I just want to use this because they're so good. I also have the Victoria Beckham ones, and those are so expensive per ounce. It's way more expensive than this one, but I want to use this. Taking this BK Beauty 106 to blend this in. This is a color Biscuit, if I didn't say it. Like I mentioned, I'm just, I don't know, in a funk. So if I repeat myself or just say things that are wrong, just ignore me. This blends in so easy. It's just incredible. I do want to do some videos of like products that I would repurchase, or just my go-to best in each category, that if I wasn't a YouTuber, well, like what kind of makeup would I have. I'm also doing a declutter. Hopefully that should come soon, and I will be brutal. I want to get rid of like half of my makeup, and it's not because I don't like it, it's because it will expire, and other people could definitely take advantage of that. I'm taking the color Truffle now and add it a little bit more as a bronzer. I've had questions if I would recommend this as a bronzer. If you're like my skin tone, I don't know if I would say that this is the best bronzer that I would pick up. I just have both colors. I still think that the Biscuit, the color, the way it sits on the skin, is just so unique. For the price point, it's definitely worth it. Truffle, for me, it's still pretty, but I wouldn't buy it as a bronzer. I would just focus on contouring and get a different bronzer. I'm gonna bronze a little bit more. I'm taking my Chantecaille bronzer in the color Sienna. Now, Chantecaille came out with a summer collection or spring, I don't even know which one it is, that re-promoted this one in a different packaging. And I do really like this bronzer. It has a little bit of a redder undertone, which is very flattering. It's not too much. And I really like it, that it has this very sheen, soft effect on the skin. It looks very natural and beautiful. Moving on to blush. Now, Esum has kind of revamped their makeup line, and they came out with some eyeshadow palettes, a contour palette, blush palette, which I'm about to use, and they sent me these two. The eyeshadow palette, it's called the Artistry palette number 9, Accentuate Blush palette. And then I'll show you, let me show you real quick, the eyeshadow palette. It is the number 2 Intensity eyeshadow palette. It is this one right here. So first of all, the packaging is actually really cool. It's lighter. It doesn't feel like the Pat McGrath extremely heavy, but I think this is more geared towards artists, like makeup artists. So for me, for example, if I go on a job, this is so practical for me. Let's take the blush, because this whole thing comes out and I can just work from it like this. It's brilliant. I really like it. It still feels nice and sturdy, but not, it doesn't feel cheap, and practical. Again, I really like this. The only thing with the blush that I haven't loved is because my brushes are all round and big, I always seem to get a little bit of the blush next to it. So I have to kind of go on my side rather than just smash my brush in there, that I usually do that way. So I've been struggling with that. But besides that, the quality of these blushes is so smooth, so beautiful. Now these are all matte powders, and I would say, it sounds bad, but just basic in the best way possible. These are incredibly soft, and see, it has that soft sheen without having absolutely any shimmer in it. It's just the texture of all of this. It's just so beautiful. Let me swatch them all now. Oh, absolutely stunning. For example, if I go on a job, I just want something that is small, compact, that has great quality. I don't need a ton of shine. I can always add shine later, and I don't need them to be extremely pigmented. If they're too pigmented, it just takes me a little bit longer to blend it out, or I have to be a little bit more careful. So I prefer blushes that aren't extremely pigmented, but blendable and buildable. That's what I'm looking for when it comes to blushes. Again, not necessarily my personal life. I'm looking more for when I go on a job and, you know, have to do all these makeup looks. Okay, so these are the swatches. I kind of swapped this one and this one, as you can see here. But I think it's helpful maybe to see the pinks one next to each other. So like I mentioned, that these were sent to me and I was so excited to play with them. And I was like, wow, these feel really nice. Like the quality is really nice. And then I looked at the price, and these are $80. The eyeshadow palette that I'm going to talk about, I'm pretty sure it's $120, which I was just so baffled. That's why I included these here, because they are very expensive. But you get 5 blushes, full size, beautiful quality, blendable, beautiful colors. So it makes sense now that I think about it, and I'll talk about the eyeshadow in a little bit. But I was just, I was a little surprised by the price. So I kind of want to do a combination. Let's take this one right here. This is the BK Beauty 104. So I just kind of almost have to pinch a little bit and go on all the sides, just so I don't get the other colors on my brush. See how easy that was? The color's beautiful as well. Just kind of put it all over. These feel very, very soft, like incredibly soft. And see, even though it doesn't have a sheen to a shimmer to it, it's not a flat matte, which is so beautiful. And I'm able to build this up. I do think that the quality really is wonderful. And if you're a makeup artist, I wonder if they do like discounts for makeup artists. I would look into that. Because I think something like this is so practical. I really want the sculpting palette. I mean, I actually want all their palettes, because I think the quality is surprisingly amazing. It reminds me of the Viseart like vibe. Although I have to say I like the Esum packaging more, and the way they kind of structured everything. But it just gives me that same vibe. So this is the blush. You guys saw just how easy it was. It was blendable. So, so pretty. And again, it doesn't have that flat finish to it. It actually reminds me a little bit of the Gucci blushes. The same, super soft. Maybe these are not softer, maybe slightly more powdery to the touch. Let me see. So I'm like swatching both of them. No, the Gucci is softer. It's a little bit softer. This is just a little bit more powdery. These look more similar on the skin than they necessarily feel, but really, really pretty color. I love this one. I also have been reaching a lot for this pink right here. It looks so beautiful. It's kind of like an everyday wearable pink. And yeah, I think this is a beautiful palette. I would say mainly if you need like a variety of blushes or for makeup artists. This is beautiful. Moving on to highlighter. Now I kind of got sucked into some CLE DE PEAU products, and these highlighters from CLE DE PEAU, I mean, I can't believe I spent this much money on them. I did get them on sale, so I didn't pay full price for these, but these are called the CLE DE PEAU Luminizer Phase Enhancer. I have two colors, 202 and 17, and I'll show them to you real quick. These come with this brush. I'm actually going to take that off so I can actually show you these. So 17 is this one. I'll turn it. There you go. So you can see the color a little bit better. And then the 202. So they have kind of two different intensity. The ones that have 3 numbers, like 202, are more intense, and the ones that have 2, like 17, 18, there's a 22, they're not quite as intense. They're a little bit of softer, and you can definitely see it when I'll swatch them next to each other. This is the 17. It's just the color looks, you know, very pale, and then the 202 has just a little bit more shine to it, more intensity to it. So this is the 17, and then the 202. This is definitely more golden, and this has more of that lavendery look, but on the skin, it's just so beautiful. Again, 202 is more of a true highlighter, and this is more of a soft, illuminating powder. They don't look like much when I swatch them, but oh, maybe here you can see it. Look how pretty. Oh, these are extremely expensive, like I mentioned. That's why they're here. And I first got the 202. I initially wanted the 17. They didn't have it in stock, and I just wanted to kind of see why everybody loves these so much and they talk about them so much. And I kind of understand. I kind of understand more with 17, just because this is a little bit more unique. The 202 is more of an intense highlighter, golden, but this you can almost use softly all over your face. I'm gonna use this first. This is a Refer 20. I'm taking a little bit off because it's still intense. And then I'll just show you here. It just has such a beautiful, soft look. Look at the forehead. It's a very blurring illuminator. Yeah, it's exactly what it is. It's more than the Hourglass powders, because it definitely, if I build it up, it will be a highlighter, but you could also just kind of put it all over, and it gives just such a beautiful ethereal look to your skin. I love it. I love the 17 so much. I'll put the 202 on this side. Both are wonderful. This is definitely more of a highlighter and more shimmery without having actual like straight up glitter in it. But let me move this. It's still beautiful. See, this is like intense. I think I used this one in another video. I probably added a little bit too much. And I think the key with this is to blend these into your skin. Like you can use your finger and they become one with your skin. And for a highlighter this intense, to not emphasize your texture, it really is something special. Now, are these worth it? No. For that price range, if you're looking for a good highlighter, literally Essence has an amazing highlighter that has not the exact same effect as this one, but similar, like a soft highlighter. So you do not need these, you know, there's the Rare Beauty highlighters have similar effect to this one, that it's like intense but blendable and meshes in with your skin. But if you're on a hunt for like a super fancy gift for yourself, absolutely gorgeous. So obviously the CLE De Peau packaging, I mean, look at this. It's absolutely gorgeous. It's kind of big for a highlighter, but the brush that they give you, it's actually works really well with this. So I wouldn't throw this one away. I think it's, if you're on the go, you could definitely use that brush. It's soft, not too dense where it'll apply way too much, but it's actually really good. Now that my skin is done, I'm going to fill in my brows and I'll come back to do the eyes and the lips with you. So moving on to the eyeshadow palette, this bad boy right here is $120. It is extremely expensive. You get 15 shades. Each of these is 1 gram. Compare them to Natasha Denona, where this is 125. You get 2.5 grams in each of these. So you get like less than half of the product in here. I will say that I discovered this, that besides the fact that you can take the top off, you can take this insert out and like combine, mix and match, and make your own palette. I don't know why I love this packaging so much. I immediately go to my kit. It's so much easier to carry, and I have to say that the quality of these are incredible. I would say one of the softest and smoothest shimmers that I have ever worked with. They kind of give me a little bit of Charlotte Tilbury vibe, that really smooth shimmer. There's different intensities. So you have more neutrals, oranges, golds, grays, and purples. And again, there's a matte version of this one that has more, or like all mattes, and that one is $80. Again, the price is really up there, but once I started playing with this, I kind of understood why the price is so high, because I was thinking, okay, you get a Charlotte Tilbury, let me grab it, quad. This is what, 50 bucks? I honestly don't even know. Very expensive. And you get 15 of these. This, I would say, same quality, if not better. I think these are more pigmented and they don't get hard pan at all like some of the Charlotte Tilbury ones. You get just so much more product. It just made kind of, again, started making sense a little bit more, the price range for the quality that you get. Now, you don't get any toppers. Like Charlotte Tilbury has from, this is the Exaggerate. She has that pop shade. The Esum does not have that. They're all kind of shimmers or really intense metallics. But I'm gonna do a look for you guys. I've already used it a couple of times, so I know the quality, but I'm gonna take my Natasha Denona just because I don't have any mattes. And I think I want to focus on this row right here, right there. I've already put like some orange blush on, so I'm gonna keep it neutral on the eyes. I'm gonna take Freckle from Natasha Denona and just put a little bit of this in my crease. And I'm doing the same thing under here. I'm actually gonna pop some swatches on the screen so you can see how the palette looks like. I'm gonna take Cocoa from Natasha Denona and just build up that outer corner a little bit. You could definitely do this also with a bronzer or whatever other matte palette you have that has some basic browns. I am going to start with this one right here. It's the more intense one, and I'm taking it on a Rephr number 2. It's kind of like a flat brush, and I want to build this up on the outer corner. Because the shimmer is so smooth, you can kind of use these almost like a matte to just blend in to the crease. So I'm going to take a fluffier brush to blend this color and slowly build up to whatever intensity I want. And you can keep coming back and adding more. I think a huge plus is the fallout is extremely minimal. Mostly when we talk about such an intense color and deep. I'm going to take this actually under here as well. The fallout is minimal. Moving on, I am taking this middle color right here. And guys, this is such an intense color. I kind of have to be a little careful, but I'm putting this one right in the center. That's what I was saying, is that the quality is just so insane. The swatches don't do it justice. Until you see it on the eyes, I don't think it does it justice, because it's so beautiful. I'm taking like 2 fingers like always, one to apply, one to blend. These work so well with brushes as well. So if you don't like using your fingers, the brushes will do the trick. And just blending this out. Look at that. It's so intense. And you could definitely take a little bit of the product and just do a wash of this color. It doesn't have to be this intense. I just kind of wanted to show you the quality and like what you can get out of this. I mean, look at this color. It's intense, it's powerful, but it's so smooth that anybody could use these shimmers. You do not need to be 17 years old to use these colors and these shimmers, because they just work so well. Oh, I'm loving it. Let's take this one and just put this in the inner corner. I think it's going to be very light. I'm actually going to mix this, this one and this one, so I don't have quite such a white stark color. There we go. I'm going to take this color one more time and kind of blend it all the way in the inner corner. Why not? Yeah. I feel like I am glowing from above. I'm actually going to go do my mascara. I'm going to use my Lash Clash mascara, and this whole look will come together. I will most likely take this fluffy brush and just kind of make sure that the edges are all blended and probably tight line, and I'll be right back. Okay, my friends, I have put my mascara on, the YSL Lash Clash mascara in black. I have tight lined, and that's about it. I didn't do a liquid liner or anything. I also did add a little bit of my Tarte brightening pen. Is that what it's called? Fake Awake. It's this one and the Victoria Beckham beige kind of color. Those are my favorite liner for waterline. I also put the Tower 28 Work of Art lip liner on because I have some Clé de Peau lipsticks that I want to try for you. I have been loving the Clé de Peau lip products. I initially got the shade 111 Chocolate Cosmos. This is the matte version. They have matte, they have cream, and then they have a shiny gloss type. And this is more of a almost moussey but very smooth matte lip cream. It's not transfer proof, but it does stay really well. So I wanted to try the color 114 Flame Lily. I did try this one in store and it just looked so good. I'll show you here. Look at that. Ooh, that would actually go well with my eyes too. And then I also got the shade 201. This is the lip cream formula and it is so creamy. I kind of thought maybe I would try this one for you guys because look at that. It's just so intense. Let's put this on real quick. I just think that this would be such a beautiful, almost day-to-day lip product. That's beautiful. I wore, well, let me put this on and then I'll tell you about this. Ugh. This is beautiful. What a beautiful nude color. This is not too pink, not too brown, not too peachy. It's just such a beautiful nude color. I wore this the other day without a lip liner and it works really well. It's so opaque and pigmented that even though it's such a light color, it worked without a lip liner. I do like it with a lip liner though a little bit better. I think it defines my lips a little bit. But it's a beautiful formula. It's not sticky. It's extremely almost thick, but in a good way. It just adds so much pigment. And there is another shade that I'm very interested in this formula. I'm gonna take this off and try the Twisted Lily. No, the Flame Lily, because I've tried the Cosmos, Chocolate Cosmos for you guys multiple times. So let's take this off. CLE De Peau really is becoming a brand that I'm interested in their products more and more. And I don't know, it's not good because they're so expensive. Oh. Look how beautiful. Okay, so maybe this lip with this eye look is a little bit more of a night look rather than a day look. It's a little bit more intense. Last time I wore this lip color, I wore it just with a little bit of mascara and that's about it. And it just looked much more natural. I find this color so beautiful. It's not quite red, it's not pink. It's just such a beautiful mix that I think if you have barely anything on your face with this lip, it's just so beautiful. I'm gonna pat it down and see if it's more calmed down with the eye look. Not really, it's still intense. This color definitely stays in place. Again, it's not transfer proof. Like it will transfer, but the pigment is still there throughout the day. If I eat a heavy meal like that's oily, it will come off and I'll have to reapply. But I just think this color by itself, look how pretty that looks. All right, guys, so this is the finished look using extremely expensive product. Just a highlighter, look at that. Ugh. There's something special about that highlighter, I'm telling you. And again, this eyeshadow palette is really good. I have to say that I was just so impressed with the quality and it lasts all day long. I had no issues with the staying power. Again, the price is really up there, but I think if you're a makeup artist, this would be a good investment. And yeah, I just feel like I look I need a black dress on now and just going to a ball. Yeah, at nighttime. So I hope you guys enjoyed this video. I would love to hear your thoughts down below and I will see you in my next video. Bye.